disclaimer. Drip is a life changer. Now all I do is chill and write bangers. Morph into the green like the White Ranger. Taking my block to the top just like Jenga. Danger, step on up and get roasted. I'm just trying to make some change like Drip Coach did. Posting like daily, put you under hypnosis. Fuck around with another dev and get ghosted. It's hopeless. We so bullish like Mike Jordan. All the fun fading away is quite enormous. Building a bridge, kinda like a chorus for those missing in action like Chuck Norris. Run for us, run away, don't come back. We stick together, on point like thumbtacks. Grab the Iron Man, they gone from one snap. Going hard for the network, that's a fun fact. Danger, step on up and get roasted. I'm just trying to make...
Yo, what's up? Looks like we'll jump in here a little early. I think I had the wrong video sequence playing. So either way, it's close enough to 4 a.m. We got a little head start. Who we got in the chat? Am I live? Can you hear me? Hopefully we have less technical difficulties. I didn't open up as many windows today. Yeah, recently computer started overheating. And I think it happened in some of my videos as well. And I've had to take it in and get serviced, but it's probably time for a new one. But out here, man, electronics, ironically, though they're coming from next door, they cost a lot more. So you never know what you're going to get. Also, sometimes they have access to the exact same equipment and stuff like that, but it's aftermarket, third party, slap a different logo on it, make you think you're getting what you think is high quality, but it's not. So you got to be careful. All right, what do we got? So Cole, Bastion, all good on the sound. Thanks for joining. Samuel S. Boy, what up? Thanks for dropping in. I recognize your logo now. I've seen you in the comments, and Cole as well. Definitely appreciate you guys. What do we got going on today? I have not checked. Drip, where are we sitting at? 6 cents. Well, that's positive. Up from 4 and some change to 6 now. Almost hitting the big milestone for 100 rounds. So you guys in the chats, have you been playing Triple D? I've only played maybe a dozen times, half a dozen or so. Not that often, to be honest, because I'm looking to win. So if the biggest sacrifice wasn't high enough, I didn't feel like depositing Drip and taking it 75% versus just sending it to my other wallet as an airdrop. So I haven't played as much, but every time I played, I have won. So at least that works out. What do you think about P-Drip performing beautifully? Oh, it's going to perform well. I keep telling everybody, like, yeah, I didn't get in because I wasn't going to put it on the channel, because I told you guys that I was only going to promote Drip content. And since the dev made it and it doesn't have any tie-in to Drip other than the name, yeah, there was no way that I could, with integrity, market it or share it on here. But the dev reached out to me for the pre-sale, and I posted in my Telegram and shared it. But yeah, it's going to perform. People are looking for degen plays. I've said this 100,000 times, so I'm blue in the face. There's money out there. Problem is, Forex has burnt out the community with overpromise, underdeliver narratives, and they're looking elsewhere. So people have already put thousands of dollars in capital into Drip, and they're not going to put it back in until they see it turn around, and or they're burnt out and said, screw it, I'll just take out whatever I can. But they're still degens. So they're going to go play elsewhere. That's going to always happen. And until we can leverage that by creating community projects that actually can roll out at a high clip, we're screwed. And that's just the honest truth. So I think P-Drip is fine. It's going to be fine. for until someone decides to try to take advantage of it or whatever the case may be. But I mean, you got to remember, everything moons in the first couple of days. So let's circle back to this in 90 days or whatever and see how it goes, because community is everything. So ironically, since he's marketed directly to the drip community, maybe these guys will support it properly. And, you know, nice, healthy claim and hydrate strategy. I didn't go into tokenomics, but I know there's a lot of sustainable metrics put into it to make it work. Moonshot Max and Drip Gardener are your P drip guys. So they're where you want to go to get content on that. So I think it's fine. I didn't get into it. I even had offers from the dev to do to get pre-sale drip tokens and P drip tokens. Didn't take them. Moonshot Max has offered to give me P drip tokens. I appreciate everybody's philanthropy and charity, but yeah, I just didn't get into it. I'm not against it at all. I think it's great, and we need stuff like this. I just wish that the community would band together and we could do something like this for drip. That's what I think about it. Cole played 3 times, won 1208 as a runner-up prize. Nice, congrats. Hope you get into it, coach. Please say yes. Yeah. Since I have some risk capital, but most of the money I put into crypto, like I put all of my money in that I want to play with in crypto, and I was doubling down on drip. Yes, I have like monthly risk capital like everybody else, you know, the money that you would just throw away somewhere, you know, whatever your recreational things are, that's your risk capital. And I could be putting more in, but at this point in time, I'm kind of just waiting. So since I didn't get into the pre-sale, I'm not going to jump into P-Drip now. So that's too little too late. But if the community builds something and I can get the people aligned, then I will definitely be bringing in more risk capital, because the play is not to sell drip to get into P-Drip, which I know a lot of people didn't do, but that's the issue that a lot of people are going to be in. So some people are upside down super bad, and they went in with all their risk capital or whatever that they could. Drip has performed horribly for 18 months. So another idea comes up and they're like, well, this is an opportunity. So they sell their drip to get into that. That's the issue with the casino. You came into the casino house with your $100 of risk capital. And if you're a responsible degen and you get wrecked over at the blackjack table and you only got $50, well, then you up and take your 50 and you leave that you got left over and you go to the poker table or baccarat or pie gap, whatever, right? But if you're irresponsible, then you go get your ATM card and you go take out some more money. So that's the dilemma. So if you have the risk capital, for sure, go and gamble in these other places. But if you got to rob Peter to pay Paul, then you're just gambling, and now you're becoming a compulsive degen gambler, and you're going into your, your non-risk capital and your safety plays, so to speak. So that's for each person to decide. But at this stage, it's too late for me to get into P-Drip. I'm not getting in. But I support all those that are. Congrats to you guys. Yeah, I could see that. See, P-Drip capital eventually come back to drip. Yeah, the capital will come back to drip once the community gets their head out of the sand and realizes that Forex is not coming to save you, and that we have to do this by ourselves, and that we can turn things around. Mathematically, it does not look good right now if things continue on the same path, though. But if it does, then yes, 100% I believe it will come back. I agree. Some of it. Some of the people are going to cash out because, like, hey, I got wrecked for 18 months. I got to make something. Samuel's boy, nope, didn't sell drip for that. Awesome. Yeah, that should be the way to play it if you really want to support drip and still take advantage of these degen plays that are out there. So there's a lot of stuff still coming, and I think the community is building projects. And I think that's part of the Drip Protectors group, the one that I'm not in, but that I shared on one of my videos. They appear to be trying to do something. So right now, what it looks like, let me see if I can pull that up. I got a screenshot of that. Let's see. Let me find that. because it's got kind of their initiative, if you will. Let's see. Copy paste on it or something. So yeah, we'll do this. Because there are still some people that are in the what would you call that? In their own feelings and don't want to look at facts. So they recycle the Ray narrative, calling people agents and stuff like that, but don't realize that people are actually trying to help drip. So this is from Protectors of the Drip Supply. And they have this kind of schedule. So whoever's in charge of this, it's yeah, it looks like they're at least trying to put some ideas together and get everybody on the same page. So on Wednesdays and or Fridays, they will buy, sacrifice, drip through Triple D, gifting to Crypto Mischief's Max Wallet, 2D, 4D. So I guess that's just to get people on board to actually play and participate. So that's cool. Then Tuesdays or Thursdays, they do a deposit to the res. Anyone depositing over 0.1 BNB after tax is also entered into the Stuff the Res drawing. So that's been going on for a while now. Emmett's in charge of that. So teaming up with that to get eyeballs, that's good. Then there's the Bartertown Conglomerate Initiative each and every Monday, 1 p.m. The next full round after 1 p.m. Drip Maxis will sacrifice directly into the pot to create an incentive, and other Drip Maxis will enter Triple D via sacrifice for the highest chance to win the pot, but also to feed the vault. Join us each week as we push the pot. Salute. And then Drip Drop Draw Pot. So now I understand what this is, since he used that word that confused me, but that's just the actual vault before. So yeah, these are great ideas to get that energy all rallied into one spot. And it can have positive sentiment. But what I keep stressing, I got another video coming out, I think it's tomorrow morning, but they cannot just inject this $400,000 into the into drip. Doesn't matter if they do it sporadically, if they time it, they do, 4K for 100 days. It does not matter. You cannot do that. And I'm not in the group. Nobody's reached out to me. But if some of you guys are in the group, or if you know people in the group, definitely bounce the idea. I'm not saying it's the end all be all solution, but this is definitely the way they need to be thinking about this. So as you guys have seen, and as the community can go look right now, P-Drip doing well. This was literally targeted to the drip community. So ask yourself, why did this new drip token fork with new tokenomics shoot out the gate when it is talking to the existing drip community? Answer, because the drip community is burned out, but they're still degens and they will ape into new things. So what should we be doing? Should we just throw $400,000 into drip and pump the price just so people can exit that have been burnt out for 18 months? No, you should take the $400,000, put it into something sustainable, take that yield. So you don't actually sacrifice any of that. You don't want to throw that away. That's your bread basket. That's your way to reboot all these things if you play the game correctly. So put it into something such as, again, the crypto ranch idea I made. Again, don't do this, but let's just take a look at the Animal Farm. Theoretically, the V3. We have no idea when that's going to come, but at least right now, what can you do on the Animal Farm if you had $400,000 of liquidity and you were to put that maybe not in the farm right now because V3 is not here and you don't want it in dogs. But let's just look at the pool for what is this? BUSD, just so we can get an idea of what that is. I'm sure you can find somewhere else with better yield right now. But if you were to put that 400K right now, that's 9% APR per year. So I think somewhere with, so we don't even need to do a calculator on that. But let's just say you can find somewhere at 10%. So you're getting 40K per year. And over a course of a month, you got like 4K or whatever. So that's not a lot, but you get my point. You're putting it somewhere and then trying to put it to use. So with wherever you put it, however they decide to do it, and even if they put it there and then try to create like an NFT game or something on top of that to get people to support it and they double it, that would be even better. because now you could have, say, 1 million coming. You use that 400,000 as kind of the bait, and then you get the community to put up some for like an NFT, for a DAO ownership, for something that's not just Ponzi-nomics. And then once you have this big bag, you use the dividends from wherever you're staking it to build out things like P-Drip. It's not that complicated. Give degens something to ape in every single month, and they will. Because they want to be first. They want to have the new shiny thing on the block. They want the opportunity to ROI quickly and to shill and all that stuff. And then once it loses its luster, they want to do it again. So if that community is smart, they will not inject that capital into drip, because it will just get eaten up and be a one and done, shoot your load, pump and dump. But if they use it to be a launch pad for funding projects, for properly supporting existing projects, man, this could be huge. This is what I've been beating the drum for like the last 6 months. For you that are watching my content, you guys know that. So that was when I made my Change 360 project. I realized the energy in the space. So if you have someone in charge that is actually evaluating what the moves are and where people are at, then you can actually do some good in the space. Forex is wants to be an innovator and create a name for himself in the DeFi space. And all that takes time. And the energy currently in the space is aimed at degens and quick pump and dumps and meme tokens and monkey JPEGs, like all this stuff. None of that's innovation, but that's the energy. You can't get upset with that. Operate the way the world is, not the way you wish it was. So the best solution, put a community together with the money, with the capital, and then create these things. Make sure they're safe, of course, but there is nothing wrong with creating these kinds of games. And especially if you're upfront and honest. Like there's a new project being shilled by FUD Farm called the Money Tree. And it's literally a Ponzi-nomic DApp. And it's telling people right out the gate, hey, it's a Ponzi. You don't make your ROI unless you bring other people in. You're getting paid from those other people's money. Are you okay with this? No, then don't play. If you are, cool, play, because here's the tokenomics. Like, people are going to play. Don't hate it. You know, don't hate the player, hate the game. That's the way the energy is. It's the way it's going to be. And if we could put that money to use from protectors of the drip, I guarantee the drip community will support it. We have proof of concept already right there with P-Drip. And whenever P-Drip starts to lose its interest, something else can just jump up and reduplicate. And you just keep rinse, wash, and repeat. Hell, it could be easily finding one contract that works and then literally make it so that it only runs for 30 days. It's like, hey, you got 30 days to get into this. And if you miss an opportunity, you know, we got another one coming. Here's the countdown. It already starts. Like once they find one thing that works, just literally have the contract get killed at that 30-day mark. And the new one spins up on day 31. And then you have your opportunity to be first and get in there. You know how awesome that would be? Especially if it's built into the contract. Everybody knows it's going to be behaved that way. Dude, it'd be crazy. It'd be killer. And it's not, I'm saying it's not complicated because I'm seeing what these devs are building and putting this stuff out there. So that the energy is there. The amount of intellect is there. And the support is there. It's just got to be a matter of putting it all in one spot. But nobody in the P-Drip community, I can't say nobody because I've seen the screenshots, but there are people in that P-Drip community that got their head in the sand and want to believe that because Ray is donating money, that's their own money. He robbed Peter to pay Paul. But because he's done this, they're like, well, we can turn the other cheek. And there's other people that listen to the stuff that I have to say and agree that it's good ideas, but they're torn within that community because they're being slapped in the face with stolen money philanthropy. And it makes them feel a certain way because they've made some money with this person. But like I said, you got to ask yourself, where'd that money come from? You know, we see now that a lot of people in Drip are wrecked. And we know now that crypto is 100% Ponzi-nomics. Drip is Ponzi-nomics. In order for people to get paid, somebody else had to pay that bill. Now, if you're okay with just continuing to operate that way and wrecking the new person coming in, then do you. But we have an opportunity right now to fix that and not turn a blind eye to the fact that, okay, Drip shot to $197 on native DEX because new people became the exit liquidity for the old ones. Cool. I get it. Now we know better. Do we continue and just let somebody throw $100 drip airdrop in my face to make me feel better about literally robbing someone else because they built 20 wallets? I hope not. I hope there's enough people with some morals and integrity. If you believe in the vision of Forex, he said that his vision for the drip ecosystem is innovation, value, and integrity. And Ray has zero integrity. So he's needed for the drip community. He's a great hype man, you know, like the person you put on stage at a concert that runs around and yells at the top of his lungs and wears flashy clothing. That's great. You need that. But you should not be turn a blind eye to the blatant hypocrisy. So there's a way to leverage both and still have the ability to look yourself in the eye and go, okay, here's how we can do this honestly. And I think that's a solution, and that Protector of the Drip community can do that. What do we got in the chats? I went on a rant. Let me check back in the chats. I just sit there and talk. So I hope I didn't lose you guys. Is Drip 21 going to help or just moving money around the casino? Any project will help if they get the marketing piece right. So there are tons of great ideas, and I think DeFi Crypto Boss is trying to do that. So yes, on the front, it's going to be moving money around the casino. If they market correctly and onboard new people like that are actually gamblers coming from outside of crypto, and or even the ones that are in crypto that are coming, that are not, you know, in drip, but they're already here in DeFi somewhere. I don't know if there is currently a DeFi 21 game anywhere. I am not in the casino space at all. I'm guessing Stake has it, but if they market correctly, then yes, they can bring in capital from outside. The biggest piece I see missing, and now that I'm in part of the Drip Marketing DAO and I've been out here marketing, doing stuff for businesses for 7 years now, marketing's not my background like Scott or what Rock Ape has self-taught himself as well. But I definitely know a thing or two and have been successful with it, especially when you start to understand how to do it in a third world country, in a business that you don't know, and you're spinning up all this stuff, lots of trial and error, drop shipping, online sales, all that stuff. The one piece that's missing from most DeFi projects is marketing. From any project for that matter, marketing is the blood. So it doesn't matter how great your project is. And that's why I'm going to say Animal Farm B3 will flop, because Forex has not figured out marketing very well. He's still trying to do the old school degen marketing. And that's not enough, especially right now. That was enough when he got in before the bull run. It's not going to do anything right now. So back to your answer. Yes, Drip 21 will work if they get the marketing right. PU it on Radiant Capital. Don't know what that means, Martinez. Put it on Radiant Capital? Put what on Radiant Capital? Drip 21? I don't even know what Radiant Capital is. I don't know the devs behind P-Drip. It's not the product, it's the people behind the project whom deserve the trust. Have we learned nothing in DeFi yet? The dev behind P-Drip is the same one that made Burn Swap, and that took off pretty well. I don't know what happened to that, but it was on the same launch pad that I had my Change 360. And his name is Crypto God 420. That's the dev. So I don't know anything about him either. He sent me a message in Telegram and was giving me the opportunity to get into it. And I didn't, but he seems like a legit dude. So that's all I can say. I know nothing outside of that. You guys will have to look into it yourselves. Actually, that's not his name. Who is it? What is the dev's name? Maybe that's his name. I can't find it right now. But he sent me a message and he's in my chat somewhere. So seems okay. So far, so good. P-Drip got an AMA on Moonshot Max channel. Yeah, check out Moonshot Max for sure. Why are they so scared to talk to Ray? Because they've been, they're not scared. They're literally, how do you call that? Like you see, like I mentioned about Sam Bankman-Fried. So they've been bribed. That's the best way to describe it. And they're not going to call it a bribe. But what's happened is some people have gotten money, made money, and they've seen raids, philanthropy, and airdrops. They're literally blind. It's like the Stockholm syndrome. So they've been gifted money. So because they've been given money, or because they got their team built under Ray or with Ray or whatever, they've made money. So it's very hard now to have an objective lens and look at things and go, wait a minute, where'd that money come from? There are people that got wrecked. I got lucky. So they're not afraid to talk to them. They just can't, because their literal lens of viewing the world has been overshadowed by a couple $1,000s. So they're not able to look at it objectively. Whereas since I'm not under Ray and I've seen the dirty dealings and I've gotten wrecked in the entire drip ecosystem, not a single one of Forex's projects have performed for me. Every single one pumped and dumped. Even when I got in on launch day, even when I woke up in the middle of the night to join, nothing has performed for me in the animal farm. So that has given me a different lens to look through and be much more critical of everything happening in the ecosystem. And everybody behind me that's joined under me has had that similar taste in their mouth. So be that as it may, both lenses are slanted. Therefore, the only solution is to look at both sides and go, okay, both things can be true. People can have made money with Forex's ecosystem, and people can have lost money in Forex ecosystem. Therefore, the truth is in the middle. Cool. What do we do with that? Well, let's find a way to acknowledge both sides and then move forward. And that's what I keep preaching. It's super fascinating how people, again, we either rather stick their head in the sand or take sides and use this narrative. That's how you know it's literally a cult and he's just brainwashing his tribe with airdrops and money and stuff like that. They use these stupid made up terms, meth head fudder and agents in the chat and all this stupid stuff. You're not even speaking English. Like, don't make up words to describe things that don't exist. That's just a way to create bifurcation between two groups. This is exactly how, when you go look at any of the genocides that took place, you'll find out they did the exact same thing. It's propaganda. They put out words and phrases so that you start to view things a certain way so that you can actually do whatever it is, malicious things they want you to do. So like in the Rwanda, the genocide was in Rwanda. They're on the news and on radio stations. They started calling, I forgot the name of the other tribe, but they were calling them cockroaches and all these other names, not basically giving them any humanity. And this is what caused people to literally kick in their neighbor's door, drag them kicking and screaming into the streets, and then like beat them to death, chopping them up with the machetes. This is people you broke bread with and sat down with. But by preaching a narrative over and over and over again, making up terms so that you are brainwashed into seeing things this way. This happened here in Cambodia with genocide in the 1990s. It's easier to remove yourself. And then it's even more so, again, same thing happened with propaganda, when the person who's in charge of that propaganda is giving you money, or in the case of the genocide here, was in charge of food storage and things of that nature. So it's the exact same tactics. People don't see it that way. But when you educate yourself and peek behind the curtain, read books like this, you'll go, wait a minute, this is not healthy at all. This is crazy. Now, I'm not saying what's happening here is the exact same thing as the genocide, but when you understand propaganda, you understand narratives, you understand manipulation, you understand human psychology, then you realize that these are all the same tactics. So it's not that they're afraid to talk to Ray. It's that literally they've been brainwashed, and a couple dollars and some echo chambers have clouded their judgment. That's it. What's good? Staying bullish. What up, Captain Fix? Staying bullish. Yep. Well, I don't know if it's bullish or bearish. I just stay realist. Realish, like relish. Matt Ewing. If the so-called protectors can pump drip long enough, it could make a nice enough chart to attract new investors, which is what is needed. I've mentioned that before, and it's in my video coming up. It's not just about the new investors. We can't just, I think a lot of people, myself included, was in this idea of, pumping drip to get new investors in. But if you're only wanting to get new ones in so you can exit, then that's not the right way to do it. Again, it needs to be an actual sustainable utility built into drip. So it's not just about bringing new eyeballs. It's about reigniting the sentiment and actually leveraging the community as a collective and building projects with utility that can support drip long term. If you just want to bring people in and exit, that is not a good look, because we'll be right back to where we started, but much, much worse with the 1% per day at the new rate of inflation. It's going to be insane to crawl out of this hole with new people coming in later and well into the future. But I agree, green candles is the way to go. Let's see, everything that goes high must go down sooner or later, including P drip, M drip, G drip, chit drip. Oh yeah, that's crypto right now. Agreed. And once the jitters are out, we could have a low liquid supply. If they are sending drip to Mischief's wallet when it's effectively gone for supply, then it's been claimed to the max already. Jitters are never gone. You're never going to get rid of all these people. Even people who actually, quote unquote, want to see drip fail, they're never going to leave. This is an infinite money printer, and the energy of the community supporting it means it's never going away. So even if that's why I try to show you guys on this deck screener chart that Forex was saying that, this competing dev exited and he's out. He's not out. Whoever that is, doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter if it was bank teller or not. Who cares? Point is, even people that are trying to cheat, quote unquote. And again, this is just stupid words that get made up by Ray and other people in DeFi. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, it's not cheating. It's literally using the system to time a buy and sell. Day traders are cheaters then, if that's the case, right? So, I'm sorry, pigs. So this person with pigs, we'll use this as an analogy. They are not out of the system. They are going to come right back in. They still are in because of this. So whoever it is I showed you guys bought at this price, timed the bottom perfectly in the exact same block, bought up a bunch of pigs. So they are going to dump them again, and they will do this over and over and over again. Why? Because the energy is here, the community is here, the developer is supporting this, and this is quick money for them to make. So they're going to do the same thing for drip. So it doesn't matter how much you get rid of the liquid supply, someone else will continue to buy some up. Like I just showed you guys, 221,000, a new first place wallet already sitting on top of BSC scan. This person has liquid drip again. It's going to continue to happen. You can't get rid of it. So you need to leverage it instead. And the only way to leverage it is to get much more buy volume on a daily basis. That means creating dApps and things that can add buy pressure to drip. It's really, really not that complicated. Super simple. Relish means 75% down from ROI. Yep, it looks like realish. Yep, realish. More than that. I don't know how far I'm down right now, to be honest. With the new one, I'll find out Sunday because of the new drip price. I think when I did my last calculations, it was 8 or 9 cents. I can't remember. But yeah, it's been a horrible ride for me. This has been one epic shit show the entire time. Forex has too big of an ego since he's obviously a legend in his own mind and smartest guy in the room. He will never partner with anyone unless they bend the knee. Bitfighter, SPRITZ are examples. Oh yeah, it's not about him partnering. This has to be, now that Protectors of Drip is trying to do this on their own. That's good. Finally, and that's why I've been beating the drum so loud. So finally, enough people got upset to where they're taking drip in their own hands. That's exactly, again, what I've been trying to preach for the last 6 months. So I'm glad that somebody's finally, that's literally my only job on my channel right now, is to just keep making enough noise where people get pissed off enough to move forward. This is a Tony Robbins quote about leverage. You basically, in order for things to improve and change, the pain of change has to outweigh the pain of staying the same. Or the pain of staying the same has to outweigh the pain of change. Meaning you get so painful staying where you are that you're no longer afraid to move forward. So before, there was a lot of people afraid to do things without Forex, afraid to do things without Forex's blessing, or afraid to speak up about things. Well, now it's clear that they know that if they stay here, they're just going to continue to lose their investment. So now they've finally gotten fed up and they're rallying together to do something. So that's cool. And I am going to pat myself on the back, reach high in the air, break my elbow, pat myself on the back, because I've been beating the drum, shedding light on this. And whether they want to admit it or not, the energy is being shared. And therefore, people are now going, wait a minute, maybe we can do something. Cool. And this all started with Droplet showing the way. But now the community is actually stepping up to move forward. So it's not about getting Forex to partner with anybody. It's about getting so loud that Forex can't ignore you, and or getting so loud that you don't need Forex to even co-sign for you. That's the key. That's it. If they do that, they can win. Really, again, not that complicated. The complicated piece is herding cats, getting all of these energies together to operate in tangent. So that's why, again, my job is to beat the drum, get the right people aligned. Like I've seen in that Protector the Drip, there is the likes of Rock Ape and KK, Kryptonite. People like that are in that chat. And I have talked to these people behind the scenes. So I at least know that we are on the same page and these are like-minded individuals, but they have a much better way of infiltrating these chats to get people to understand how to move forward as a collective and not just pump and dump the drip price or think that this 400K is going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. You got to use that properly and leverage the energy properly, work together with the other content creators properly. And again, I told them to leave me out of this. Don't use me, but go back, go through the list. I made a list of content creators. There's like 30 of them. If you really want this to pump, reach out to each one of them. Let them know what you're doing. Let them know what you plan on doing. Let them know the contracts you plan on building and say, hey, we want to do a rotation. We want to get with you on stream. We want to share how the community is doing this. Community owned, community driven. We want you back in the community and want you to share some information on it. We're not saying it's going to the moon. We're not even saying it's going to work. We just want you to give your honest opinion on it to show that the community is taken back over. Would you do that? If so, here's how we're going to support you. If you put all these pieces together, this can be epic. But it takes whoever's in charge of the P-Drip community. I don't know if it's an actual in charge thing or if they actually operate as a true democratic collective, but you need all the pieces in place, not just liquidity. That is not the answer. You need the marketing, you need the liquidity, and you need the sustainability, understanding the leverage in the space and how degens are operating and what that energy is. And to me, that means being able to produce contracts over and over and over again. It's not a one and done, because you're not going to knock this out the gate. You know, P-Drip is doing great, but that's not the long-term solution. All contracts go up and they come down. So like I just mentioned on the stream, just came up with the idea that maybe it's literally making a self-destruct contract that can just get recreated every 30 days. And maybe at the end of 30 days, you know, it ends, but whatever's left over in that contract rolls over into the next one. And a portion of that is, as it rolls over, gets sent to the buy and burn drip or whatever, or even sent to a charity. Like, do something good with this. Get people wanting to participate in this. I'm taking the charity idea from Money Tree. If you put that into the contract, then people are like, okay, even if I lose, it's going to a charity, you know? So there's so many ways to leverage this and then get the energy and the hype right back into the spaces. Again, it's not complicated. And I'm hoping whoever's in the Protective Drip collective see that. What do we got in the chats? Because again, I keep going on these rants. So I'm going to just try to get through the through the questions and discussions. Scrolling back up in here. So you and Driptopian AMA coming soon. Yeah, next Tuesday. Check my my, what is this? I'll pull it up right now because I can actually pull that up. Where is that? Community. I already posted it here. Driptopian AMA. I'd be on Driptopian's channel, and it is here. So the details are here. It's 5 a.m. my time, but I put all the time zones in there. So check that. Animal Farm Marcus, what's up? I agree as well. Drip needs outside ecosystem buybacks and moving away from the gambling mindset into a long-term investment. 100%. Thank you. Yes, we're on the same page. But asking others to invest is not the way. No. Well, if you ask them to participate and they understand how to do so sustainably, is the way. But yeah, just using them as exit liquidity is not the way. Axel, yep, bad actors will never leave. You're absolutely right. That's why I was a big proponent of SPRITZ finance. I used it plenty during the promotion for drip period. I wish other influencers got on board. Real utility outside the ecosystem the only way. Well, at least now you see, because I reached out to those people, sent Stunner multiple messages, Crypto Mischief multiple messages, so you can see who supported and who didn't. And there was no reason not to. They did exactly what they said. There was zero Ponzi-nomics, and the only reason it didn't get any support is because people like Ray shit on it, lied about it, slandered it, and downplayed it purposefully because he didn't have a way to manipulate the system. And because he did that, other people listening to him chose to ignore it, and it got zero support, and it didn't do nearly what it could. But still, they were able to get, I think, almost $2 million from the drip community that was sitting in crypto that moved through SPRITZ. And that's exactly what I said would be the case. Now, it wasn't a lot of new people, but I made the case that if we had enough volume, there would be an opportunity to go back to SPRITZ and say, hey, look, the debanking is the actual golden goose, because there was $2 million in the course of 2 months, basically. So we'll call it $1 million a month. And if we could go back to the table and tell SPRITZ, be like, hey, I think we can get this up to, let's just say 5 million, because there's more people, 5 million a month that is moving through your platform. And right now you charge 2% on average. If we can get 1% of that and you keep the other 1%, we want the 1% for buybacks, then that's what, $50,000 a month that we could have with zero Ponzi-nomics continually. Because once these people are using it, there's no reason to stop using it. So that would be right there, $50,000 a month. That's, more than 10, what is that? That's about $10,000, $15,000 a day. Is that right? Something like that. You guys know what I'm getting at. So, $1,500 a day, somewhere there. Either way, point being, it's zero Ponzi-nomics. I always can't do math on stream, but you can do math any other time. So that was a huge solution, and there's still opportunities. So there's actually going to be another SPRITZ roundtable meeting. I think it's scheduled in September or something like that. They got a lot going on, so they push it all the way to September. Samuel's boy, the community still got money, but not for drip. The OG need to bring the green candles. Facts. Our chart looks like Ziliqua chart. Maybe we are at the bottom of the massive cup and handle. Man, I don't know. With all the leverage that's in the system and the amount of people that are burned out, I don't know we'll ever see the bottom until something massive comes in. Yeah, I got to see drip jump above like $5. If we jump above $5 and hold there, then I can say we definitely hit the bottom. Forex wrecked us. Oh, definitely with the overpromise, underdeliver didn't help us. You are a louder guy no one can ignore in drip community. Forex know about you, no cap. I don't know about that. I wouldn't go that far. I'm not sure if he knows about me, but I'm definitely going to keep beating the drum and keep exposing Ray. That's my solution right now. My job is to make sure that anybody that searches for Ray and decides to think about joining his team realizes he's a liar, a snake, and needs to be exposed. So I'm going to keep doing that until something else changes. And the request I made is really simple. All I asked him is to stop stealing, stop gaming the system. Like, stop making all these max wallets under your existing wallet and stop shilling your buddy address. That sounds fair. He can continue supporting drip. He wants to be a beacon of hope for drip. Well, keep supporting it, but stop shilling your own selfish benefits. Like, actually do something philanthropic. Don't reach into the collection plate as it's passed around put that in your pocket, and then next Sunday, come back to the church and go, hey, church, look how much I'm donating, when you literally just stole it from the people in the church in the first place. That's so sad. Paralysis by analysis, delays, rewriting triple D, ruins the ability to gain investors. Community just needs to step up and move forward without Forex's inability to be accountable. I agree with that. But Ray, he preaches the Bible through Samuel L. Jackson in the shadow of death. Yeah, that was hilarious. Like, he went on like a 30-40 minute rant on me. And that just shows you how big of a snake he actually is. And literally, because this all started because I sent him one message and he deleted our chats. But I sent him a biblical quote that said, you know, the one that's basically what's done in the dark will come to light. And that's what I've been doing, is showing all this. And it was because he was lying on Team Drip, lying about all the support for SPRITZ. And then he front run it. So that was a video I made, and I put it out as a premium video. So my own premium members went and shared the video with him. So he front ran it out of fear and put out a 45-minute hit piece before my video even came out. And he tried to use the Bible and all this stuff. Then he deleted our chats. And that's where he did a $300 drip airdrop. So he did 3 airdrops in the chat. So at the end of the chat, he could have a poll to get me kicked out of the drip Telegram. And I think it was like a sad 60 people voted, and like it was 40% not in favor, 60% in favor, something sad. Like there wasn't even an overwhelming majority. And he literally ran a 45-minute hit piece using Bible and the sword, the God, armor of God, all this shit. And I have just literally exposed every piece of garbage that he's tried to throw. And then his last retort was to go over to his DGen channel, because he doesn't want it on his channel, and try to like front run another video I put out. So this time I didn't have it on premium. That's why I turned off monetization, because sadly, people paying for premium were just sharing this with him. So I was like, I can't have that on the back end. So I just turned off all my monetization. And last video I put out, it was just a thumbnail, and he tries to go again and front run it and just tells on himself. So this is how I know he did. That's why he won't come on stream. He won't debate me or discuss. Let's not even call it a debate. He's not going to get on channel and discuss like a real man would, because he would just get wrecked. The only way he can keep preaching his narrative is by basically doing echo chamber kind of pieces on stream, where he can just ignore the chat or delete the chat, delete people that are, you know, asking questions that go against his narrative, or he does a pre-recorded video. You never once seen Ray in a live discussion. I've been on Twitter Spaces, been on Driptopian channel. I did it with shouts out to Nakamoto Crypto, who called me out, and we had an amazing discussion, bro. This is what real men do. This is how you should actually move with integrity. You actually say something you believe in, someone challenges your belief, you step up and defend your belief, and you keep an open mind so that if they say something that makes you question said belief, you can go, I did not see it that way. Thank you. I have new information. I'll think about this differently. Or you're absolutely right. I never saw it that way. I have changed my mind. It's not that complicated. That's called integrity. That's called morals. That's called values. That is not Ray at all. Even though he used the Bible, he's literally the exact opposite of any of that. So if he was a real man of integrity and actually had these values, he would actually get on stream and talk about this. He would hold open VCs in the chat. He would open up the Drip Telegram to actually have voted and vetted community members. Not me. Just want to put that out there. Not me. Put community members in charge of the chat that are voted on by the community, not just him in his echo chamber. He can't do that. He will not do that. He doesn't stand a chance in a battle of wits to have an open air discussion. That's why he won't do it. That's how you know it's just propaganda. He can't have his views challenged in real time, because he'd lose every single time. What do we got? But Ray preached the Bible. Yep, I still use SPRITZ. Thank you, Coach. Why didn't the community support SPRITZ? You brought a real solution, and cronies and elitists ignored it. I showed you that, because the echo chamber and the narrative, bro. Like, that's it. That's how you know who's actually really trying to help drip and who's not. Who's trying to pump their own bags and who's not. There was a solution with SPRITZ that would pump drip, but it didn't have any direct benefit to Ray because he didn't want to do the KYC and shield an address. So because of that, he literally lied about it. If you go back and check his stream where he talked about SPRITZ, he lied about how it worked and what needed to be done. And his lackeys didn't do their research, so they believed him. So it just got echoed. And that's exactly what he does on a lot of stuff. He just lies about it, spins a narrative, gaslights, and then people who don't DYOR just believe it. And that's why I keep now showing how to do your own research. Don't just take his word for it, because he's literally going to do what is only in his best interest. And his best interest is to use you guys as exit liquidity. Pulse drip is skyrocketing. Yes, again, it's only 3 days old, so it's going to skyrocket. Stunner just dropped the video. Well, if you guys got in before Stunner's video, then you're doing great. You're Gucci. Ride that wave. A lot of people use SPRITZ. That is easy money and utility. Maybe Protective Drip can reach out to SPRITZ. The gate's still open for SPRITZ, so the opportunity is still there. We'll see what happens in the future, though. Oh, Rock Ape. I shouted you out earlier. Rock Ape's in the Protective Drip, so if you guys want to get into that, reach out to him. He'll hook you up. I fell asleep sitting straight up listening to Forex AMA just now, like have many times before. I don't mean to. Something about Forex speaking gets me every time. Oh, shit. Didn't know there's an AMA right now. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that goes on. I need to check that out afterwards. I need to probably change my time, so if you guys want to watch that, you can. My bad. Forgot about his Thursday AMAs. So I'll put out a poll on my channel for a better time, because I got one more coming up in Friday this week or this month, and then we'll check another time. Don't want to be competing with the AMAs, because actually I do listen to those and, you know, make content on them. So I'll change my time for that. Just figure out what time is best for people. Forex is just as bad as Ray. Scott the investor got his dad to invest 20K into the Faucet. I felt that pain in his video. I talked drip to some, but didn't onboard friends and family until it played out some more. Change 360. Yeah, I think a lot of us did that. Like, I didn't get my family in. I did get them to do 1,000 a piece for piggy bank. I was like, hey, here's a great opportunity. I made like a spreadsheet and I made a damn PowerPoint. And I was like, I think here's what we can do, and look at it like a CD. And we're going to do 1 year, 6 months, and we'll do 3 months or whatever. I did all this stuff and I got wrecked. My parents were like, hey, where's that money? I was like, it's lost. I don't know what to tell you. This is horrible. So I didn't get the 20K, but I also know another one of the members in our group. He's in the, what is that? Cryptozoa. His dad put up 100K at Drip when it was, oh man, in the $5 range, somewhere around there. We thought we were at the bottom. And I know he's feeling the sting of that as well. So that's what I'm saying. We have to change this. So you can't just ignore Ray's behavior, because what if you did this to a family member in good faith? Are you happy now that they're your exit liquidity? Can you steal from your family and be like, thanks, dad. Thanks, mom. Thanks, sis. Thanks, grandma. I got out. Sorry you got wrecked. Like, that's the Ponzi-nomics of Drip right now. And that is what Ray has done. Stolen money from people like that. Your grandparents, your parents, your friends, your family, your coworkers. And he's used it to airdrop to other people to get them on his team. And if we don't change things, that's going to continue to happen. It cannot just be bring in new people. Protectors of Drip has the opportunity to get the existing drippers. I told this to Rock Apes, told it to you guys. The solution is not new investors. The solution is get the excitement and hope of the old investors. That's why I made the last video about retention is the key. So you go back to the 70% of the people that tapped out of Drip, you leverage them. And the way you leverage them is going back to the people that got them in the first place. Go back to the content creators. Tell them, hey, here's what we're doing. They come back because they see what the community is doing. They can put their capital back in. They're already in, and most of them haven't ROI'd, and most of them have just decided to stop investing in Drip because it's been a big shit show. But they can improve their bag substantially at these prices and guarantee they have the risk capital to do so after 18 months of, let's just call it 12 months of ignoring it, because they probably tapped out around the $5, $10 range or whatever. And at these prices, they could buy a butt ton of Drip. That is the solution that protectors drip need to focus on. You get them back, then you can look at getting new people. You can create the projects and stuff like that. And that will work. I guarantee it. What do we got? Dude, you should be paid for your work. Don't turn off monetization. Too late. It's been off for God knows now about, it was at the beginning of July. Yep. So July 1 is when I turned it off. And it'll be that way for the foreseeable future. This way, it's just another stone I can throw in the face of Ray, because he tries to use that I'm using this for clicks and views or whatever, or people, do this for clicks and views. Like, no, I do this literally just to rain on your parade, because you're a liar, a cheat, and a disgusting person that should be shut down. That's the only reason why I do it. And what better way to virtue signal than to even turn off the $700. It was like $600 to $700 a month that I was getting. So that is the absolute best way to do it. And that's the reason I'm going to keep it that way. It's just much simpler. So I do this now, keep putting out content, daily content, haven't missed a single day, some days too, all for the community. And that proves it, because now there's zero incentive. There's zero, what would you call that? Benefits or whatever. You can't say that it's being used for a different purpose, basically. Excuse me. I hate to do that in the microphone, so my apologies. But let me see if I can pull that up. I'm trying to pull that up right now. So yeah, I can pull this up now on screen and put this over so that you have a timestamp in live right now. So revenue, should be able to see this. So right now, revenue, $0. Let's go back so you can see how far it goes. So you see when I turned it off. So it's been off, I think it was July 1st. Yeah, right here, 1 July. So it kind of had a trickle effect. So I turned it off on 1 July, got $1.19 since then. And then you see 0.000000000000000. So monetization has been off completely. And you see for the month of July, got $1. August, we're sitting at the middle of August, $0. And you can see what I've made before. So I wasn't making a lot of money for the amount of videos and stuff I put out, content. Yeah, it wasn't doing much. But just so that I could take that one little bullet that Ray had in his chamber and pull it out. That's the reason I do this. What do we got? Bible doesn't do nothing. Pastors still scam the poor African people with the Bible, and God doesn't do anything. Yeah, definitely. It's not about the content, the Bible, whatever. It's not the message. It's the messenger. That's always the case. Post Drip is solution, just a tier 1 referral. Yep. Forex AMAs are all about Animal Farm. He wants nothing to do with Drip because he knows it's failing and he doesn't want to help, or maybe doesn't know how to help it get better. He's just, as I mentioned to you guys, he's an innovator and he's got this shiny object and wants to leave his legacy in DeFi and crypto. So he wants to move on to the next thing. And then that just means that whatever it would take to improve Drip, he doesn't have the incentive to do so. And he's built new tokens and projects and he thinks that Animal Farm is going to be it. I personally don't think so. I drank the Kool-Aid for Animal Farm V1 and the way that he was making the tokens and all that stuff, and it sounded legit. But again, I made the analogy, showed you guys, product innovation in and by itself does not mean that's what people want. Just because you make the best product does not mean it will fly off the shelves. A lot of times people just want something super simple, and Animal Farm is far too complex. And at this stage, it's not going to gain market adoption. I guarantee it. I'm literally, putting that out there as a guarantee, put it out in multiple videos, putting it out now. Animal Farm V3 will not succeed. It's not going to bring in new capital. It may bring in the old people that left, but even though these degen yields are going to pump back up, it won't sustain because the the process is too complicated, too convoluted. And also, it's not what people want. People do not want, the degens in the space do not want to lock up their capital and have it trickle out at a 90% tax deduction. They will instead go over to your Stargates, over to your multi-swaps, over to your pancake swaps, and they would much rather get a lower yield with a guaranteed, I can just dump this token. It's just the way it is. So it doesn't matter that you're going to come over here and see 100% APY, whatever. It doesn't matter, because the tokenomics are not bullish for degens. They're not bullish for the day trader. They're not bullish for the person looking to take out dividends on a monthly basis. It's not going to happen. So, well, no matter how great it is, he's not understanding where the energy is at in the space. Yep, retention of previous investors is key. Crypto Kings has videos with tags of 50x. Crypto Kings, I'm not even going to comment on that. I was about to say something negative. I'll talk bad about Ray, but yeah, you guys can follow Crypto Kings if you want to. You should know better by now. Coach, you don't need to do all that to prove you are for the community. You earn that money on YouTube. Nah, it's all good, bro. Not about proving. I guess you could say it's just doing what I said I was going to do. So it's about having morals, values, and integrity. And in order to do so, it's doing integrity. It's doing what you said you would do, even if nobody's watching. So that's why I did this. And then to show that crypto is don't trust, verify. So I don't want you guys just to listen to my words. I want to show you what I'm doing, because I want you to verify and hold me accountable. This is what I said this new solution for moving forward would be like if Ray were actually to be supporting the community. The new way would have content creators shilling their addresses, and then you in the community go out and check those wallets every once in a while. Use the utilities that are out there and then post and share. Like, hey, he just shared a different address than this one, and this used to be the one that we supported. Why is this one out here? Hold people accountable. Don't trust, verify. Use the tools that are out there and hold people's feet to the fire. Then you have the trustless system that crypto was meant to be. Right now, you just got a bunch of philanthropists in wolves in sheep's clothing that are masquerading. And most of your content creators are just shitting on you. They're using you as exit liquidity. And you trust them because you see them every day and they talk a good game, and it makes it easy for you to get behind and support them. But in reality, they're just using you as exit liquidity. So we have to change that system, because new people coming in, and not just Ray, this is all content creators across the space. New people coming in are going to see these people and they're going to just be exit liquidity. So we got to stop doing this. And we can at least do it in the drip community. We can't stop it from like the meme token and everywhere else, but we can at least do it in drip. You are the real one, drip farming for property. Appreciate that. That's how far I go back. Hopefully you can make a story of the turnaround in crypto journeys. Yeah. Appreciate that. I've changed that name a couple times on here. Changed my intro, changed my outro. I had different music, but I haven't changed my tune. I have changed my evaluation. Like I used to believe one thing, and now I've been shown different information. That's what you got to do. You got to grow and evolve with the space. V3 has no tax on the farms in and out. So maybe I'm wrong, but the only lockup is, no tax on the farms, but you still get a dog token that has 90% tax. That's my point. So there's no tax on the farm. But your dog token that you're farming still has to be put into the dog pound with this NFT and then trickled out to get it to go down. And the dog pound itself is not a very simple model. So compare what we have over here. So we got these farms and pools. So compare what we're doing compared to PancakeSwap. So you put your BUSD in here. Cool. Now there's no longer a tax going in and out. That's fine. But now you get these dogs and you're like, okay, I'm going to sell these dogs. That's what you do with Cake. And then you go to sell them and you're like, wait a minute, that's not the same value of dogs. That sucks. Why is that the case? Oh, I got to go over this dog pound thing. Wait, how does that work? Huh? I got to make an NFT. What? I got to add liquidity to that. What? I got to put it over here and stake it. You just lost that person, bro. So they're going to go over to Cake, Stargate, Multichain, AnySwap, all these other ones, ApeSwap, whatever, because it's easier. So That's just the way it's going to work. Doesn't matter that the yields are there. Doesn't matter that V3 has this amazing range optimization. All that's going to do is be good for the people that understand Forex, like the existing investors, basically. They're like, oh, okay, I'm willing to go through all the hurdles because I've been doing this already. I'm much more familiar. But outside in, there is zero incentive for someone sitting on Stargate with $1 million in BUSD to come over here. Zero incentive. Because complexity is the hurdle that most people will not be able to overcome. There's a marketing slogan that says, if you confuse, you lose. And that's essentially what he's done. So it doesn't matter how amazing the yields are. It is too confusing, and too much friction means that someone looking to put their capital in will not go there. They'll go somewhere else instead. Happens all the time. You can have a nice landing page with the best product, but if the person can't find the buy button, or there's too many steps between the buy button and you putting in your credit card, they'll leave. And that's what this is. All right, we are winding down. What are your thoughts about Mystify creating a drip-like token for the community? Would you be a part of that? It's the same thing I already preached, man. If the community creates any kind of contracts, and as long as it has some support to the drip community and the existing drip token, yeah, I'm behind that 100%. That's what P-Drip should be. I'm sorry, not P-Drip. That's what protectors of drip, protectors of drip should be doing. They take that money they raise and actually reach out to these other people that have the skills, get a community project together. My thought should be obvious. I've been preaching the Crypto Ranch project for 6 months. That's what that was. It was just a way to leverage the energy into one location. That NFT project idea was putting devs, putting community content creators together, and putting the community engaged people together to make a project. That was it. So now they're doing it. They don't have to say it was my idea, but I was the first one to preach this. They're not using the exact Crypto Ranch theming, but it's putting all these pieces together in one place. So if Mystify is a part of that, yeah, I'll support it. As long as it has some mechanism to support the existing drip token, and as long as it actually is reaching out to community members to be a part of this, I support it. It's really that simple. What do we got? Winding down. True, the facts are the facts. Whales are going to go with the quick dump every time. Exactly. That's how they became whales. Oh, Stunning is gambling on P-Drip. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm definitely out. Yeah. And that's me too. I'm out. It is 5:05. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We will cap it right there, ending the stream. This was fun. And this time I don't think I had any streaming issues, since I didn't have like 30 windows open. I did get 2 errors, but it sounded like you guys were sticking around. So, as soon as V3 launches, all the influencers, CK of the world will dump their dogs and pigs. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely think we got some more sales coming to dogs and pigs, but I don't see any fresh capital coming into this thing. Not at all. I'll say on stream now again, we may get back to 50 million TVL, maybe, but we'll come right back down to where we are. All right, that's all I got, guys. See you on the way out. Lift daily and achieve your impossible. Take it easy.